Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranvalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahiyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yatapatakamallam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sadagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saritam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sadagana Lalita Shri Shakham Vitamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kriva Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome back to our morning Bhagavatam sessions. Today we will discuss about the power of offense to devotees. Power means not the positive power. It's the negative power. How degrading it can be. How scary it can be. How much obstruction Vaishnava Aparadh can create in our spiritual advancement. That's what we're going to discuss today. In the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami narrates the story of Ajamil in the first 3 chapters. From 4th chapter, he begins another episode of Daksha. 4th and 5th chapters, and 6th chapters, 3 chapters, he focuses on Daksha. Then from 7th chapter, he will narrate the story of Indra, eventually leading to the stories of Trasur and Chitraketu Maharaj. Both are same in 2 lives. In these episodes of Daksha and Indra, we will find so many important principles of Vaishnava culture and how not to behave with other devotees, how not to offend Vaishnavas, and what are the repercussions of offending devotees. All that we will see in the episodes of Daksha and Indra. The 4th chapter of 6th canto describes that Daksha appeared as the son of Prachetas in his second life. Initially, in the beginning of creation, Lord Brahma created so many great sages and Prajapatis, and Daksha is one of them. In fact, Daksha is the prominent of all Prajapatis. Prajapati means the progenitor of mankind, one who creates progeny in this universe. And Daksha is one of the prominent ones. So Daksha was created by Brahma, and as he has asked so many Prajapatis to procreate and increase the population of the universe, but Brahma also asked Daksha to procreate and increase the population of the universe. And Daksha did that service in an amazing way. He's called Daksha because he's expert. Expert in what? Expert in increasing the population of this universe. So Daksha excelled in his service. Daksha's service was really exceptional, and no other Prajapati could perform this service as expertly as Daksha did. Good. It's very good to serve in such a nice way. To be very efficient and effective in one's service is really very good. But somehow, all that exceptional service that Daksha has done only increased his false pride. He became very arrogant, very proud, very disrespectful towards other devotees. We need to serve the Lord. Definitely, we should use our body, mind and words and be very, very dedicated and committed and diligent and intelligent in our service to the Lord, and we can produce great results. And we have seen several wonderful Vaishnavas and Acharyas have done exceptional service to the Lord. But apart from rendering service to the Lord efficiently, we should also maintain the right mood behind that service. The Lord is more impressed with our character more than our efficiency. The Lord feels that this devotee is doing so much seva, but if this devotee doesn't have this Vaishnava qualities like respecting others, being humble, being gentle, being grateful, and satisfied and tolerant, then all the services which are supposed to be please me will not please me. Right? Samsiddhir haritoshanam. We need to serve the Lord, we need to please the Lord. That's the aim of all our bhakti yoga, devotional service. But what the Lord becomes pleased with is not just the performance of service, but the consciousness behind the performance of service also. Apart from producing output and results, we should also cultivate the right kind of mood, attitude, character, consciousness. So Daksha was expert in doing his service. In the beginning of creation, increasing the population of the universe is the major service. And Brahma was appointed as the primary, secondary creator of the universe. And Brahma appointed so many other creators like Prajapatis, Manus, sages. And he's asking them, you increase the population of the universe, get married, procreate. And Daksha did that very exceptionally, but he was very proud of his accomplishments. One day there was a great assembly. Now let's slightly go to the 4th canto of Bhagavatam, then we'll come back to 6th canto. In the 4th canto of Bhagavatam, right in the beginning, there's a beautiful description. Not beautiful, I would say. Very, very grave and scary description. Daksha entered a great sacrificial assembly in which so many devatas, brahmarshis, rajarshis, devarshis, devatas were assembled. All the universal celebrities are at one place. And as soon as Daksha entered the sacrificial assembly, all these residents stood up to receive Daksha with great respect and love. But two people did not stand up. One is Brahma, second is Shiva. Brahma was the father of Daksha. Daksha went and offered obeisances to Brahma. And next to Brahma, Daksha noticed Lord Shiva sitting there, closing his eyes, doing some meditation. Daksha became furious. Daksha felt that this Shiva is supposed to offer obeisances to me. He is supposed to stand up and receive me with respect because he is my subordinate. He has accepted my daughter as his wife. Sati was Daksha's 16th daughter, and she married Lord Shiva. And Daksha never wanted this to happen. But because Brahma recommended, Daksha was obliged to offer his daughter in marriage to Lord Shiva. But Daksha was always envious of Lord Shiva's exalted position. Daksha was expert Prajapati. He created so much progeny in this universe, populated the universe. He is expert in his seva. But Shiva, he also attempted to do that seva earlier. Brahma created Lord Shiva. Actually, Brahma became little agitated, slightly angry when his sons, the 4 Kumaras, declined to do this seva of procreating and increasing the population of the universe. Then Brahma became little agitated, and from between his eyebrows, Lord Shiva manifested. Then Brahma told Shiva, you procreate. You increase the population of the universe. And Shiva actually did it. He increased the population of the universe. But somehow the population that he has created, instead of expanding the creation, they started destroying whatever has been created there. And Brahma called Shiva and said, you don't need this kind of population, by the way. This is a time for creation, not destruction. And you're expert in destruction, not creation. I think I caught the wrong person. So you better go and chant Hare Krishna. You go to the forest and do some meditation. And don't forget to take all your people along with you. Let them also meditate along with you. When your services are required, I'll call you. Till then you can meditate. So Shiva, in one sense, he kind of failed in doing this service. But Daksha succeeded, not just succeeded. He did it in an exceptional way. And Daksha was very proud of doing that service, which Shiva could not do. Of course, Shiva is doing so many other services, contributing for the well-being of the entire universe in so many other ways. But as far as increasing population in this universe is concerned, Daksha felt, I did a better job. In fact, in one sense, all the population in this universe is coming from Shiva and Parvati. Daksha is an instrument. But when an instrument is thinking that it is my accomplishment to do this service, rather than identifying oneself as instrument, if one becomes overly overwhelmed with one's own accomplishment, one will become an offender. Daksha was like that. He was not thinking that it's all Lord Vishnu's will, Lord Brahma's will, Lord Shiva's blessings, that this universe is being populated with so many people. Even Kalidas says, Jagataha Pitaram Vande Parvati Parameshwaram. They are like parents of the entire universe, Parvati Parameshwar. Although apparently Shiva did not create population, but ultimately everything is coming from the Lord. Shiva is another form of the Lord. Anyways, it's a very elaborate discussion. But Daksha was very proud, very arrogant. Then Daksha offended Lord Shiva. He criticized Lord Shiva. He even cursed Lord Shiva. May this Shiva not get his share of sacrificial oblations in this sacrifice. So he cursed and left the assembly. And this tension continued. To cut the long story short, and Daksha organized another sacrifice. He invited so many universal celebrities in that sacrifice, but he did not invite Shiva and Sati, his wife. And Sati, still out of affection towards her father, she went to Daksha's sacrifice, and Daksha gave a cold reception. And Sati gave up her life, and eventually Shiva became angry, and Shiva sent Veerabhadra to kill Daksha, and Daksha was killed. And again Brahma went and negotiated with Lord Shiva, and Shiva became very kind and compassionate, and Shiva kept a goat head on Daksha's body and revived his life, and Daksha continued that life for a while. He's like super quick summary. The 4th canto episode. And that Daksha gave up his body with goat head. And he appeared as the son of Prachetas in his next life. Earlier he was born as the son of Brahma, a Brahmana. But because of his offense to Lord Shiva, in the next life he was born as a Kshatriya, the son of Prachetas, some princess in the dynasty of Dhruva. Now in this second life, as soon as he appeared, Daksha thought of doing some austerities. Daksha went to the forest and started doing austerities. He chanted Hamsa Guhya prayers to please Lord Vishnu. How long? For 5 manvantras. One manvantara is about 71 Divya Yugas. For 5 manvantras, Daksha chanted Hamsa Guhya prayers to please Lord Vishnu. And after 5 manvantras, the Lord appeared in front of him on the back of Garuda, surrounded with so many great personalities. Siddhas and Gandharvas and Devatas were surrounding the Lord. And Lord Vishnu was mercifully giving darshan to Daksha. And Daksha offered prayers. And you know what Lord Vishnu said? My dear Daksha, I am very pleased with you. I am pleased with your austerities. I am pleased with your services. People like you increase the population of this universe and give another opportunity to the conditioned souls to take up new forms, especially human forms, and pursue bhakti yoga, and then attain self-realization eventually. This creation, procreation is a service. Prajapatis did it at a mass scale, and many other personalities in this world, especially human beings, when they procreate and when they create children, that's a service. What kind of service is that? Creating a child, giving birth to a child is like giving another opportunity to a conditioned soul to pursue the path of self-realization. When a human child is born, that's another opportunity for the human child to practice bhakti yoga, to follow the instructions of scriptures, to take guidance of so many sages and gurus, and eventually attain self-realization. That's another opportunity. So that's a service. Therefore, the Lord is appointing Brahma and Prajapatis and Manus to increase the population of this universe. It's a bona fide service. If nobody procreates, if nobody gives birth to a child, then how will the conditioned soul get opportunity to take newer forms, especially human forms, and get another opportunity to pursue self-realization? So therefore, Daksha's service is very important. But Lord Vishnu, although he appreciated the services of Daksha and blessed him and empowered him to procreate and increase progeny all over the universe, the Lord did not give him real mercy. Why? Because in the past life he offended Lord Shiva. He did not give him real mercy. Very important point. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, a great commentator on Srimad Bhagavatam, who wrote Sarartha Darshani commentary on Bhagavatam, he said that the Lord, through Daksha in a whirlpool of karma, and he did not give him the nectar of prema. He did not say, you will become a devotee, you will become a premi bhakta, you will do this, you will do this service. He said, bewildered by my maya, you will engage in this activity of sense gratification and procreate. You will create progeny. Now, this creating progeny can be done in 2 ways. One way is that in a Krishna conscious way, giving birth to a Krishna conscious child and raising them as a nice devotee of the Lord. Another way is just bewildered by Maya, at being attached to sense gratification, creating progeny. So when it is done with self-control and when it is done with a sincere intention as a service to the Lord, that's wonderful. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Dharma viruddho bhuteshu, not this one, Kamosmi Bharatarshana. So, Kama, which is not against Dharma, is a form of Krishna, or is blessed by Krishna. But Kama that compromises on Dharma is a Dharma. So, Daksha, the Supreme Lord Vishnu told Daksha, but you will be bewildered by my Maya and you will create so many species in this world. And your children also will do the same thing. The Lord is so expert that when a living entity has a specific skill or talent, which is ultimately the grace of the Lord, but because of the living entity's activities or inclinations, the living entity kind of acquires some kind of skill or talent, the Lord gives them an opportunity to utilize those skills and talents in some bona fide authorized service. But if they are offenders, the Lord will not give them the real nectar of Krishna Prema. As simple as that. Daksha got some opportunity to engage his managerial capabilities and procreation capabilities in a bona fide and authorized service of the Lord. But because there is an offensive attitude in his mind towards a great devotee like Lord Shiva, he did not get the real nectar of Krishna Prema. Seva opportunity he got. Just like there may be so many contractors and builders who may be required to make a temple. A devotee may engage all of them in Krishna service in the temple construction. But they are not ready for practicing spiritual life. They will use their expertise in making a building, but they may not practice spiritual life by chanting Hare Krishna and all that. Right? But definitely they will get some sukriti because of directly or indirectly contributing to the service of the Lord. Although their expectation is only money many times. Still, some sukriti they will get. But unless a living entity becomes voluntarily inspired and enthusiastic to accept the opportunity to practice spiritual life without committing any offenses, by actually dedicating oneself to Sravanam, Kirtanam and Archanam, this kind of processes, the possibility of attaining Krishna Prema becomes very rare. Anyways, Daksha got this opportunity to serve the Lord. And Daksha created 10,000 sons in one shot. They are together called Haryashvas. And as a dutiful father, Daksha had sent all these 10,000 Haryashvas to the forest to perform some austerities. Why they have to perform some austerities? Daksha's plan is to get all of them married and engage them in the process of creating the population in this universe. That was his original plan. But he had sent all these Haryashvas to the forest. You go and do some austerities. It seems totally opposite. The reason is, the princes in the olden days, they were sent like this to the forest or to some gurukul to live with very, very meager facilities under the protection of a guru, or do some austerities in some forest with very basic facilities and do some hard work, meditation and worship of the Lord. Because very soon these princes are going to take the responsibilities as kings. And in a kingdom, every citizen need not be a multimillionaire. There are some simple people also in a kingdom. Unless the king has the experience of living an austere life, how can the king empathize with or sympathize with people who are not so well-to-do in his kingdom? When a poor man comes with some issue, the king should be able to empathize what's happening with him, because the king had an experience of living like a poor man before austerity. Secondly, in a kingdom, there are so many facilities for all these princes. There are so many servants, servant maids, ministers, soldiers who are attending to their needs. If they are constantly amidst so many such lavish facilities, they may get a little carried away. They will never be able to give up those facilities when the right time comes. When is the right time? As soon as there is an able successor to take over the kingdom. The kings in those days used to retire from their active responsibilities in the kingdom and they would go to the forest and worship the Lord full time. That's what Dhruva Maharaj did, Prithu Maharaj did, Prachetas did, Yudhishthira Maharaj did, Parikshit Maharaj did. So many people did that. Bharat Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj. One should not hold on to the throne and position till the fag end of one's life. One should train a successor. The success of a leader is not just in successfully administering justice during his tenure. The success of a leader is in creating so many successors. So, at one point, every king in the Vedic days is supposed to retire from the kingdom and enter the forest. And if they had an experience of living with meager facilities as brahmacharis before accepting active responsibilities as husbands and kings, that experience of being a simple brahmachari will help them take up their vanaprastha life nicely. Right? So life begins with some austerity as brahmachari. Then in the middle there is some access to a lot of facilities as a householder, as a king. Then at the end, again, one voluntarily gives up access to all facilities and then lives like a vanaprastha with minimum meager facilities. So that's how nicely sandwiched. The facilities of grahastha life are nicely sandwiched between austere brahmachari life and austere vanaprastha sannyasi lives. That's the Vedic culture. So Daksha had sent all his sons, the Haryashvas, to the forest very dutifully, like a dutiful father, to train them. Then they went. Haryashvas went to the forest. Narada Muni came there. You are devotee of the Lord. He is always attached to making everyone else his pure devotee. So he came there and said, these 10,000 boys, they are sent to the forest to do some austerities. That's good. That's very good. But once they complete their austerities, they are expected to go back to the kingdom, get married, and become householders and engage in creating population in this universe. Why should they get entangled in this way? They are qualified for self-realization. Let me just teach them the path of sannyas. So Narada Muni came and spoke to them a riddle. And all these 10,000 Haryashvas independently thought about that riddle, and all of them came to the same conclusion that Kimasat karma bhavet. What is the use of engaging ourselves in this karmic activities and this materialistic household life and creating progeny, taking care of kingdom, this and that? We will just become sannyasis. So all of them decided to take the path of renunciation with the blessings of Narada Muni, and they did not go back to the kingdom. They eventually became self-realized and went back to the Supreme Lord. And this news came to Daksha. Daksha became furious. He became very disappointed. Why is this Narada Muni obstructing my service? My service is procreation, and he's teaching them renunciation. What is this happening? Daksha's service is bona fide. Narada Muni's service is also bona fide. Daksha created 1,000 more sons called Shavalashvas. He sent them to the forest. Same format. Narada Muni came there. Same riddle he spoke. Narada Muni added one more sentence to Shavalashvas. He said, generally, younger brothers follow the path of older brothers. And Shavalashvas also became sannyasis. And Daksha became even more disappointed. Daksha felt that what's happening here? Narada Muni, why is he bothering me so much? Then Narada Muni did not stop there. Narada Muni thought that in the dynasty of Swayambhu Manu, I taught so many kings the path of self-realization. I taught them Bhakti Yoga. Narada Muni guided Dhruva Maharaj. Narada Muni also guided Prachina Barhi, Prachetas, and even Uttarpad Maharaj, and Priyavrat Maharaj, who is a disciple of Narada Muni. And Haryashvas, 10,000 of them, Shavalashvas, 1,000 of them. Like that, practically, most people in Swayambhu Manu's dynasty were taught by Narada Muni. They were enlightened in Bhakti Yoga by Narada Muni. Narada Muni thought, why should I leave Daksha? He also appeared in Swayambhu Manu's dynasty, right? So let me just go and enlighten him in Bhakti and this is the right time for me to teach bhakti to Daksha. Why this is the right time? Because he lost his 11,000 sons. He's in a very detached spirit. He must be really renounced, in a renounced spirit. This is the right time, conducive time for me to go and enlighten him in Bhakti Yoga. With that expectation, with great mercy and compassion, Narada Muni went to Daksha. And Daksha became furious on Narada Muni, and Daksha started chastising Narada Muni, scolding him, blaspheming him in various ways. You are sin personified. You are not even qualified to be called as a devotee of Lord Vishnu. I am an honest grihastha. I am an honest householder. And you are a cheating sannyasi. You are a cheater, renunciant. Just by changing the dress into saffron, nobody can become a devotee like you have done. You are all too much of personal attack on Narada Muni. And Daksha also said, you are sin personified. And you have taught the path of renunciation to my sons unnecessarily. You have corrupted their minds. Daksha felt that somebody has to experience the pain of sense gratification. Daksha understands. Sense gratification is ultimately painful. Yesterday we also discussed. It's very painful. Let them undergo this pain of household life or life of a king, and let them go through ups and downs of materialistic life, and then renunciation will automatically develop. And that kind of renunciation born out of realization and frustration in material life is sustainable, not an artificially induced renunciation. They should not give up their family life. And you have taught them like that. Taught them the path of renunciation unnecessarily. Then Daksha, Prabhupada supports Narada Muni and says that Daksha doesn't understand. He thinks that only frustration leads to renunciation. But the blessings of a devotee also will automatically create renounced feelings in a devotee. And in fact, bhakti gives rise to renounced feelings, detachment. Vasudeve bhagavati bhakti yogaha prayojitaha janayatyasu vairagyam gnanam jagatahaitukam. By doing Vasudeva bhakti, automatically knowledge and renunciation will manifest in the heart of a devotee without any separate endeavor. But Daksha thinks that only by undergoing this material life and getting frustrated in one's attempts for enjoyment, one will one day develop feelings of renunciation, which is not wrong calculation. So, in this way, Daksha blasphemed Narada Muni, and Narada Muni has been patiently waiting and sitting in front of Daksha. Okay, let Daksha chastise me. Let him scold me. Let him just show all his anger upon me. No problem. I will tolerate. And after some time, he will realize that, oh, I have chastised and blasphemed this sadhu, this Narada Muni, but he is very patient and very tolerant. Then he will calm down. He will cool down. Then I can teach him bhakti. Narada Muni was hoping against hope. But Daksha's anger is not getting reduced. And Daksha even started cursing Narada Muni. He said, may you not have a permanent residence. Daksha, being an attached householder, he was thinking that to stay comfortably in one home is a great opulence. Let Narada Muni not have that opulence. May you perpetually travel here and there. May you not have any opportunity to stay at one place. May you not have a permanent residence, fixed residence. And that kind of curse is actually a blessing for Narada Muni. He can go to so many places and then teach bhakti to people. So there's all the blasphemers curse devotees. That curse also becomes a blessing for devotees. Narada Muni was still waiting for Daksha to just calm down so that he can speak bhakti yoga, but Daksha did not calm down. Now let's analyze. Was Daksha really at fault, being upset when his 11,000 sons were made into sannyasis in one shot? Or in two shots? Was it inappropriate on the part of Daksha to feel like this? In one sense, Daksha was doing a bona fide service to the Lord. Procreation is a bona fide service, and Brahma authorized Daksha's service, and Lord Vishnu blessed Daksha's service. So therefore, what Daksha is doing is bona fide. Great. But the problem with Daksha is that Daksha thought that my service is more important than his service. That's the issue. And Narada Muni just preaching to all these young boys and making them pure devotees and sending them back to Godhead, sending them to spiritual world, instead of allowing them to stay in this world to contribute to the population of this world, he had sent them to the spiritual world. Is that wrong? Narada Muni is also not wrong. Daksha's service is bona fide. Narada Muni's service is also bona fide. Daksha's service is to create population in this universe, which is authorized by Brahma and Vishnu. And Narada Muni's service is to teach bhakti to the people of this world, which is also authorized by Brahma and Vishnu. Sometimes two devotees may be doing two bona fide services, but somehow the nature of the services conflict with each other. But the difference in the flavors of services should not induce disrespectful feelings amongst the servants. That's the whole issue. Let me give a typical temple scenario. In a temple, there is DT department. Their service is to nicely dress the deities, decorate the deities, procure very good quality ingredients for the service of the deities, whether it is jewelry or food items or dresses, ornaments, whatever it is, they want to offer the best quality service to the deities. That is their service. And in the temple, there is accounts department also. They need to control the flow of funds. They need to allocate funds to different departments according to their need. Okay, DT department, this is the budget for this year. And similarly, there are other departments. Kitchen department has a budget, and different departments, they need to allocate different amounts. And every department wants to do good service, best service in their areas. And now, if you want to serve the deities opulently, lavishly, the entire money in the bank account of a temple can be used only for the deities also. Or to speak of prasadam distribution. So many thousands of people may come. They need to be fed prasadam. Some funds have to be allocated here also. Hey, deities are important. Of course important. But if you give 100% of the budget only to the deity department, or to speak of kitchen and many other departments. So accounts team have to, finance committee has to, allocate only this much. The deity department says, for Janmashtami festival, we'll get jewelry of 1 lakh rupees. The accounts department will say, in 50,000 you wind up. There is a conflict. Somewhere some negotiation can happen, okay, 60,000, 70,000, somewhere you can settle down. Okay. But the problem is, when the members of DT department blaspheme the accounts department people, and the members of accounts department start blaspheming the DT department people, and start offending each other, and hating each other, holding grudges against each other, and taking things personally, that's the whole problem. Getting right? Similarly, Daksha's service is bona fide. And Narada Muni's service is also bona fide. He has to teach bhakti to people and then send them to Vaikuntha. And Daksha's service is to create progeny and keep them in the material world so that they can create more progeny in all species. This is also bona fide service. But Daksha considered that Narada Muni is a false sadhu. He has accepted saffron cloth just as a symbol, but without any renounced spirit in his heart. And very, very heinous words he used. Very bad words he used. Avaishnava. Why? Because the traces of the results of his offensive attitude towards Lord Shiva continued in his next life also, and he offended another pure Vaishnava. He offended one Mahajan in the past life, And because of that, he offended another Mahajan in this life. This is how Vaishnava Aparadha is. The effects of Vaishnava Aparadha haunt a living entity, even in the next life also. There may be some small mistakes you may do in your interactions with devotees. Sometimes out of the heat of the situation or because of some circumstance, or you are a little tired or fatigued or sick or whatever, you may become a little irritable and you may say a few words to another devotee and the devotee feels bad and you realize, oh my God, sorry Prabhu, I didn't mean to say this, please forgive me. You go and beg forgiveness and it's okay, no problem, I can understand you. I can understand your situation. I empathize with you. I sympathize with you. And that kind of accidental, unintentional, circumstantial offenses to devotees are forgiven when you sincerely say sorry, apologize. And the devotees are merciful, they would mind. But Daksha's offense is not just circumstantial or incidental or accidental. It is born out of deep-rooted envy and grudge and negativity towards a pure Vaishnava, Lord Shiva. And he himself is so proud and arrogant. Because of pride and envy, he is offending another devotee. Not because of the heat of circumstances. So you are very fatigued whole day. You worked so hard to organize Rath Yatra festival. At the end of the day, you are very, very tired and somebody comes and says, Prabhu, can we do like this? Or he gives a feedback to you. This is not appropriate. You should have done it this way. You are already so tired and exhausted, and on top of it, he is overloading you with so many feedbacks. Then you may become a little irritable and say, hey, bro, you understand what am I going through? So some kind of, this kind of things may happen. But once that heated moment is past and then you realize, oh, I'm sorry, Prabhu, I didn't mean. Yesterday I said like this. I'm sorry, please forgive me. And you just kind of give a clarification about what has happened. So these are very common things. Small things can keep happening in devotee interactions. But when somebody is holding malicious intentions and purposely trying to pull down another Vaishnava, defame another Vaishnava, and diplomatically and politically manipulating situations to harm another Vaishnava, is very grave Vaishnava Aparadha. Politics, diplomacy, hypocrisy, backbiting, spreading rumors unnecessarily, and gossiping. All these things will only dampen our enthusiasm to practice bhakti. Will only slow down our journey towards Krishna consciousness, towards Krishna prema. So one needs to be very careful. Daksha had very deep-rooted envy towards Lord Shiva. Anyways, that's one aparadha which Daksha has done out of envy and pride and arrogance. Another example in the 6th canto of Bhagavatam is, once Indra was sitting on his great royal throne in the heavenly assembly. So many apsaras were dancing, Gandharvas were singing, and Vidyadharas, Kinnaras, Kimpurushas, Charanas, all of them were just praising Indra. It's a very excited heavenly assembly. And Indra was resplendent sitting on his throne, high throne, presiding over the assembly. Then the Guru of the Devatas, Brahaspati, entered there. And Indra noticed him. He came yesterday. He came day before yesterday. He came today also. What a big deal. Let him come and sit. Let me just observe this beautiful musical performance. Indra did not do anything to welcome his Guru, Brahaspati. It's not appropriate. We cannot take Guru for granted. So when a Guru comes, you need to get up, offer prostrated obeisances, and receive that Guru with great respect. Welcome him and ask him if he wants anything. How can I serve you? Or that Guru, even any general Brahmana comes to your assembly also, you are supposed to get up and then receive, welcome that Brahmana. That's what Krishna did. In Dwarka, when Sudama came, Krishna just got up from his bed and then received Sudama as if he would respect his own elder brother. Balaramji, and he made Sudama sit on his own couch. He started washing the feet of Sudama. He had tears in his eyes. Krishna had tears in his eyes while washing the feet of Sudama. And seeing Krishna, Rukmini Devi also started fanning Sudama. This is how Rukmini and Krishna were receiving Sudama Brahmana. And when Narada Muni comes also, Krishna and his queens receive Narada Muni with so much of love and respect. If a general Brahmana also has to be treated in this way, what to speak of Guru? Brihaspati is not just any other Brahmana. Brihaspati is the Guru of all the Devatas, and the king of Devatas is consciously ignoring Guru. Consciously. It's not unintentionally. It's not that he was just doing some tapasya. For example, Indradyumna Maharaj. He was absorbed in his worship, and Agastya Rishi came, and he could not receive him. In another canto of Bhagavatam, first canto, Shamik Rishi was there. He was doing meditation. Parikshit Maharaj came to his home, asking for some water. And Shamik Rishi did not respond. Why? Because he was absorbed in meditation. Not that he consciously wanted to neglect this guest, Vaishnava guest, but he was in his meditation. So that's like unintentional mistake. But here, Indra noticed Brihaspati's arrival. But Indra did not do anything to receive Guru, respect his Guru. And Brihaspati understood. This Indra became so puffed up of his material opulence and position as the king of heaven. He did not curse Indra. He did not give any feedback to Indra. He silently left the place. He silently departed, that's all. Then Indra understood his mistake. Sometimes Control Z option doesn't work. Command Z if you are using Mac. Z option doesn't work. Some mistakes you can rectify, but some mistakes you cannot rectify. Once it is done, you have to face the consequences of the mistake you have done. Indra offended his Guru, and Guru silently left because Brihaspati, very refined personality, he did not curse Indra like Daksha did. So Daksha also entered assembly, and Shiva did not get it. And Daksha said, hey, Shiva does not know manners, he doesn't know etiquette, he's very unclean in his physical attire, he's unclean in his consciousness also. He criticized so much and cursed Shiva. But Brihaspati did not do all that. And by the way, Daksha, when he entered the assembly hall, Shiva was meditating on Lord Vishnu, Lord Vasudeva. It's not that Shiva noticed Daksha, why should I get up? He did not think like that. Shiva closed his eyes and he was meditating on the Lord. At that time, Daksha arrived. Right? And even if Shiva noticed Daksha and if he did not get up, that's not an offense on Shiva's part. Because Shiva is definitely more exalted than Daksha. It's like Brahma did not get up when Daksha came. Shiva also did not get up. In fact, Shiva is superior to Brahma also. Shiva's position is superior to Brahma also. But Daksha feels that my position is superior to Shiva. Why? He married my daughter, Sati. He is my son-in-law. I am elder to him. I am superior to him. Where is it mentioned? Just by offering daughter to the son-in-law, son-in-law will become inferior to daughter, father-in-law. Daksha was thinking like that. So, but in this Indra's case, Brihaspati did not speak a single word. He silently left that place. That neglect towards Guru affected the Devatas. Not only Indra, all the Devatas. Sometimes a devotee or a Brahmana or a Vaishnava may not take your offense. But the very fact that we have committed an offense to a great personality will affect us. Although the person whom we have offended will not take that offense, did not take that offense, still, the very fact that we have committed an offense will definitely affect us. You want another example? In the 9th canto of Bhagavatam, there is an episode of King Sagara. Sagara Maharaj was conducting a sacrifice, and his sacrificial horse was stolen by Indra out of his insecurity, as usual. And Sagara Maharaj's 60,000 sons started searching for that horse everywhere. And finally they found the horse near Kapila Muni's ashram. And just because they saw Kapila Muni's the horse near Kapila Muni's ashram, they thought that Kapila Muni has stolen. Is there any logic there? They kind of suspected Kapila Muni as thief. Kapila Muni, how can he steal our horse? At least let me go and inquire. If it is confirmed, then I can do some action. But they said, he's a thief, catch him, kill him, catch him, kill him. They said like that. And Kapila Muni is in his own world. He is doing his meditation. But because the 60,000 sons of Sagara Maharaj offended Kapila Muni by considering him a thief, and even attempted to kind of attack him or arrest him, that offensive mentality became fire and burned them to ashes. Many people think that Kapila Muni glanced on them angrily and they were burned to ashes. That's not the fact. Bhagavatam doesn't say that. Bhagavatam clearly says that it is the offensive mentality of these Sagara sons, 60,000 of Sagara Maharaj, that burned them to ashes, not that Kapila Muni burned them to ashes. Kapila Muni did not burn them to ashes. So, here also Brihaspati did not curse Indra. But neglecting Brihaspati automatically became curse upon Indra and all the devatas, and they became very weak. And at this moment, Indra became very morose. He realized his mistake. It's good to realize one's mistake, admit one's mistakes, and apologize for one's mistakes. But sometimes, even if you realize you are ready to admit and apologize and rectify the mistake, the opportunity to rectify has already gone, slipped out of your hands. Gone. That is the case of Indra. Indra started searching for Brihaspati everywhere. He had sent all the devatas in different directions. Please search, where is my Guru? Where is my Guru? I want to go and fall at his feet and beg forgiveness. He wanted to do that. But somehow, Brihaspati made himself so inaccessible to the devatas. Devatas did not find Brihaspati anywhere. And Indra became very weak. All the devatas also became very weak. When a leader does a mistake, the result of that mistake will definitely befall on the followers also. Many times. Indra was a leader. He was the leader of whole heavenly assembly. Earlier, Indra offended Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni gave him a garland. Please take this garland. I am very pleased to see you. And Indra accepted the garland. Instead of respecting it and honoring it, he neglectfully placed it on the elephant's trunk, Airavat's trunk. And Airavat does not know the value of that garland, and Airavat trampled that garland under his feet. And Durvasa Muni became very furious. He cursed Indra. Indra, you are so proud of your material opulence. You are dishonoring my loving gift. You made your elephant trample my garland under his feet. I curse you. May you lose all your material opulence. You see? So, when we are offensive, towards great personalities, that will definitely affect us. And because of this offense done by Indra, he lost his position, and all the devatas also came on roads, by the way. When the leader does a mistake, that affects his followers also. It is Indra's mistake towards Durvasa Muni, and all the devatas also suffered. Now also devatas lost their positions. And the demons became very powerful because of their worship of their guru, Shukracharya. And devatas became powerless because they did not worship their guru, Brihaspati. They offended their guru, Brihaspati. You see, it's not about the power of devatas or demons. It's the power of their worship of their guru. Ordinarily speaking, devatas are more powerful than the demons. But if the demons show good culture of respecting their gurus, they can become more powerful than the powerful devatas also. However powerful one may be, if one offends great personalities, if one disrespects one's guru, naturally one will become weaker than oneself. Sakala sammana korite shakati dehanatha jata jata. we have this song, Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya. In that song, the message is, Guru must be respected, and our ability to respect everybody else according to their positions comes from our respect to Guru. Sakala Sammana Korite Shakati Dehanatha Jata Jata. How will we get the ability to respect everyone according to their position? By respecting Guru, by worshipping Guru, by the mercy of Guru. Guru is meant to be respected, and respecting Guru will make us respect everyone else according to their position, and that respectful attitude towards all the living entities will ultimately make us objects of Krishna's grace. Without respect towards all living entities, one can never attain Krishna. What is this logic? Mahaprabhu says, Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amanina Mana Dena. You respect everyone, then you will be able to chant Lord Hari's names always. Kirtaniya Sada Hari. And one more instance where respecting all the living entities according to their positions is emphasized in Bhagavatam. Lord Kapila was giving his teachings to Mother Devahuti in the 3rd canto of Bhagavatam. Especially in the 29th chapter, he elaborately describes the process of Bhakti Yoga. Then he says, Bhakti involves worshipping me in various ways. He gives big list, I think 16, 17 items or 13 items. He gives a big list of rules and regulations, protocols and prescriptions and prohibitions in Bhakti. So he said, once you follow the limbs of Bhakti, you will become a pure devotee. However, if you follow these limbs of Bhakti, but if you disregard other living entities, if you disrespect other living entities, if you envy them, if you ridicule them, if you look down upon them, your worship, your following, your meticulous following of all the prescriptions and prohibitions of Bhakti will not please me. You should respect every living entity. And Kapila gives a gradation of all living beings. Who deserves what respect? Vaishnava deserves the greatest respect. You can see 3rd canto 29th chapter. I will not elaborate now. So, Indra failed to respect his Guru and he became powerless. The demons became powerful. And Indra's position is gone. The demons took over the heavens. And all the devatas with sad faces, with the tears in their eyes, they went to Lord Brahma. Brahma, can you please help us in this situation? Then Brahma chastised them. Brahma chastised them severely. If you disrespect your Guru, Brihaspati, what else can you expect? If you are offensive towards your spiritual master, can you expect any happiness or prosperity in your life? Good that it happened to you. But anyways, we cannot allow the demons to flourish so much. We cannot allow the demons to rule the universe. Although Devatas have done a mistake, the good side of the Devatas is they are obedient to the Supreme Lord Vishnu and Brahma, and they are ultimately devotees. But because they are not completely pure yet, many of them, sometimes they may make some mistakes like this. But generally speaking, Devatas are devotees. Indra sometimes does mistake, but actually, at all other times, Indra is doing so many good services. He is providing rains, he is administering justice, he is the king of all the heavens, he is guiding all the other Devatas. For one full Manvantara, for 71 Divya Yugas, Indra rules the heavens. Not a small responsibility. To attain the position of Indra is also very great. He has so many great, good records of doing so much service to the Lord. But sometimes he makes some mistakes because of not being completely pure at heart. But eventually, if he gives up that mistakes, he will become a pure devotee also. So Brahma and Vishnu, they constantly support the Devatas whenever they are stuck. And especially, if the Devatas are dethroned because they have done a mistake, what is the result? The demons are ruling the universe. Is that reasonable? It's not at all appropriate that the demons rule the universe. Therefore, the Lord Lord Vishnu or Lord Brahma again try to reinstate the Devatas back in their positions. When a manager does a mistake, the senior manager should not just remove him from the post. You should understand how much great service this manager has done. Although he has done some mistakes now, just give them feedback, rectify them, and then give them a warning or caution note. Tell them not to repeat the same mistakes again, and reinstate them. Let them do the service. But if they are taken out, what will happen to the service? Some other person will come who is inexperienced or who has malicious intentions, and they will take the universe in a different way. So Brahma told, because your guru rejected you, you should accept another guru. Who is that guru? There is a Brahmana named Vishwarupa. He is the son of Tvashta. He had 3 heads. And this Vishwarupa, has the knowledge of Narayana Kavacha. You please go and request him to teach you Narayana Kavacha. With the power of Narayana Kavacha, you will be able to defeat all the demons. Then you will again get back your positions in the heavenly kingdom, and you will regain your administrative posts in this universe. So, the Devatas headed by Indra went to Vishwarup and accepted him as Guru, and Vishwarup also agreed, and Vishwarup taught him Narayana Kavacha, and by the power of Narayana Kavacha, the Devatas could defeat the demons and regain their positions. So this is like a happy ending. But something else is there, suspense. Okay, let me just create more suspense. So this Vishwarupa was connected to the Devatas also and to the demons also. His father was a Brahmana, Tvashta, but his mother was connected to Daityas. So one day he was offering a sacrifice, and he also chanted a few mantras to empower the Daityas, empower the demons also, and Indra became very insecure. He committed another Guru Aparadha. Indra chopped off the 3 heads of Vishwarupa. It's too much. Indra ignored his Guru earlier, and he offended his Guru Brihaspati. Now, he killed another Guru out of his insecurity. This is what Maya can do to us. When you are too obsessed with your power, position, you become so insecure and that you lose discrimination. Indra knows what is right and what is wrong. Not that Indra is like a small kid. He knows, he is very experienced. But still, at that moment, Indra just could not control himself. He became so insecure. Again, he is offering oblations in the name of the Daityas, demons. What if they become powerful and again they dethrone me? So he just lost all discrimination and then chopped up the heads of Indra, in Vishwarup, and again he became sinful. This is another offense to another Guru, another Brahmana. Then Vishwarup's father Tvashta became very revengeful towards Indra. What did he do? How did he take revenge? We'll stop here. It's 8 o'clock. I don't want to go beyond time. We'll discuss in the evening. Thank you very much. Gnatra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jai.
This Gauranga Darshan Prabhuji ki jai. While the prasadam is getting heated, if anyone has 1 or 2 quick questions, we can take them.
Whose question? I saw 2 hands. Both at the same time.
Correction. Thank you very much for your very nice lecture. Prabhuji, you mentioned Daksha did prayers for the Lord for 5 manvantaras. But in between there will be dissolution of the entire universe.
At the end of every manvantara, there is no dissolution. Sometimes there is a partial dissolution at the end of some manvantaras, and Brahma dozes off. At the end of day of Brahma, Brahma sleeps. Then there is full dissolution within the universe. That is also not complete. Complete dissolution happens at the end of lifetime of Brahma. Partial dissolution happens at the end of the day of Brahma. But during the day of Brahma, between 2 manvantaras, sometimes there could be little dissolution when Brahma dozes little bit. But it's not necessary that at the end of every manvantara there is some resolution. But this Manvantara, this junction, 6th Manvantara, there is some little partial dissolution. Therefore, Daksha was again creating all the species.
Yeah, again, thank you very much. There's some very nice points that we can take away and apply practically. In the story of Daksha and Narada Muni, now I'm not defending Daksha at all, but is there something also that Narada Muni could have done? Because Daksha has created 10,000 sons. They've been made into sannyasis. He's created 1,000 more. Now, if Daksha could have keep creating more progeny, but then Narada Muni would have keep making them sannyasis, and he wouldn't have been able to do his service. So how do we understand that from the other perspective as well?
After Narada Muni converted 11,000 sons of Daksha into sannyasis, just sannyasis, you are devotees and send them back to Godhead. Then Brahma came and consoled Daksha. Don't worry, you can create daughters. And through daughters you can expand the progeny. So Daksha created 60 daughters. 17 of them married Kashyapa Muni, 13 to Dharma or somebody. Like that, creation continued. And as far as Narada Muni converting devotees, means teaching bhakti to people is concerned, he keeps doing that every time. Now this time he started 10,000 people, 10,000 audience, and he became excited to give a class to them. Okay, and make them devotees. But Narada Muni also understands the importance of ruling the kingdom, importance of leading an ideal grihastha life. It's not that Narada Muni is only into making sannyasis. He is a sannyasi, definitely. But at the same time, Narada Muni understands the importance of all these services. Narada Muni had a disciple named Priyavrat Maharaj, Swayambhu Manu's son. And when Daksha was doing austerities for 5 Manvantaras, there was no one to rule the kingdom. Then Swayambhu Manu came to Narada Muni and said, release my son Priyavrat, who is being trained as a brahmachari under you. Let him not become sannyasi, let him become a householder. Then Narada Muni said, okay, take him. Brahma also came there. Brahma also came and said, Priyavrat Maharaj. But Priyavrat Maharaj was hesitant. He said, no, I will be brahmachari only. I will not take care of the kingdom and enter a household life. He was thinking like that. But Brahma came in front of Priyavrat and said, no, you should take up this responsibility. It's an important service. There is no one who can do this. Then Priyavrat Maharaj became the king. And Narada Muni allowed it. Narada Muni blessed Priyavrat Maharaj. Yes, may you become an ideal king. And Narada Muni also arranges for proper guidance to different householder devotees. Whether it is Dhruva Maharaj, Yudhishthira Maharaj, or Prachina Barhi, or Prachetas. It's not that he is fanatic in only creating brahmacharis and sannyasis. He is obsessed in teaching bhakti to everyone. Ashram doesn't matter, but here in this case it just so happened that 10,000 people, why should they just get entangled in so many materialistic affairs? They're very pure, they're ready to go back to God, and let me just send them. But Narada Muni taught Rukmini Devi about the qualities of Krishna, and then eventually Narada Muni kind of contributed for their marriage. Yes.
Thank you.
Any other question? Yes.
Take it last
Prabhuji, when Daksha performed that much tapasya, normally all the sinful tendency will burn away and with Kuta, like that's what we heard about Bhakti. But why this tendency didn't, even after seeing the Lord, getting the mercy and everything?
That's the catch. Although performing austerities or even sadhana is meant to eradicate all kinds of bad tendencies within the heart, still, when the intention behind performing bhakti or some austerities is not pure enough. Especially when someone has the background of Vaishnava aparat, one's purification doesn't happen so fast. Bhakti can be done in multiple flavors. Tamoguni bhakti is done, tamasic bhakti is done with revengeful attitude, with envy within the heart. And Rajoguni bhakti is done, Rajasic bhakti is done with the intention of desire for material opulence, all that. And if somebody does bhakti pursuing liberation, then such bhakti is called sattvic bhakti. But nirguna bhakti is madguna sruti matrena mali sarva guhashayi manogati ravichinna yatha gangam bhasambudam. Just by hearing Krishna's qualities, you just run behind the Lord. That is pure bhakti. So some people, bhakti is pure, definitely. But the performer of bhakti, the person who is rendering bhakti, devotional service, may have some different kinds of motives. So that bhakti is tainted by that motive. So that's why Daksha, instead of transformation, even after seeing the Lord, Daksha did not experience that positive transformation even after seeing the Lord. Duryodhana saw the Lord. Dushasan saw the Lord. Karna saw the Lord. Who else? Shishupal saw Lord Krishna. Ravana saw Lord Ramachandra. But all this beautiful darshan of the Lord did not create any impact in their consciousness because they themselves are very poor-hearted and ill-motivated. Your recipe may be perfect, but if the sabji is not good, sabji itself is, ingredient itself is not the right one, then you will not get the right taste. Paneer sabji may be very tasty, but replace paneer pieces with some cardboard pieces or some rubber pieces. Will you get the same taste? Same recipe, but ingredient changed. Then you will not get the right taste. Same thing here also. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.